Ma Zhua is a second-year student who is studying at the Faculty of Business Administration. Late for her first day of school, the girl gets on the bus, where she meets a guy who helped her pick up the handle. Zhua falls in love with the stranger at first sight, but has no opportunity to ask his name, as the guy gets off at the stop and disappears from the girl's sight. She meets Cha Minho, her childhood best friend, who is a second-year student at the Computer Technology Department. The guy cares for her and seems to care about her not only as a friend, but also as a girl. Soon, Seo Jimin, a second-year student of the Economics Department who is dating her boyfriend Park Hanel, also appears on the doorstep of the university. Their couple is popular, so they attract the attention and envy of other students. Soon the foursome heads off to their first classes and Zhua notices the guy she was riding the bus with. Minho informs her that it's Moon-jun after class. Jimin meets an old acquaintance and invites her to have lunch with the two of them. Rose suggests installing a new app that all university students use to stay in touch and catch up on the latest news. In the evening, Zhua moves into the dormitory, where her roommates are Jimin and a girl named Huangbo. The new roommate has diabetes, so she gives Zhua and Ximing instructions on what to do in case of an attack or hypoglycemic shock. The girls are shocked by this information, but promise to help if necessary. At the same time, Minho and Hanel also become roommates and meet the third guy living in their room, named Gilmok. A little later, a declaration of love appears on the app, which gets the students excited and they want to figure out who could be the author of the anonymous message. It is immediately clear that it is someone who is in the same class as the four friends, so everyone wants to know the author's name. In the morning, Minho shows Zhua an app he created that connects those who eat alone so they can meet and socialize with each other. The girl likes the idea, so she posts information about the app to publicize it and make it more popular among the students. Meanwhile, Rosa and Jimin reminisce about how they once studied together. Zhua decides to use Minho's app and surprisingly finds a guy who decides to have lunch with her. Moon-jun and Zhua spend time together, which brings the couple a little closer together. In the evening, the university students gather for a party to celebrate the start of the school year. Here Rosa also meets Hanel, and during the conversation shows a great love interest in him, despite the fact that he is a little older than her. The guy ignores Rosa's advances and goes out as soon as he receives a message from Jimin. In an attempt to make her feelings known, Rosa hurries after the guy, but they are met on the street by Ximing, whom Hanel introduces as his favorite girl, which embarrasses Rosa. The next morning during training, Rosa asks Jimin to give her Hanel's class schedule, under the pretext that she wants to help him in his studies. After getting the information, she changes her schedule and goes to the computer lab, where she meets Minho and Moon-jun, who runs the programming club. Realizing that she is in an awkward position, Rose pretends to be a cleaner and leaves the classroom in a hurry. During cheerleading practice, videos emerge of interviews given by some of the team members. In one of the videos, Ximing looks much better than Rosa, causing her to leave the practice in a fit of anger, after which she steals Ximing's clothes and throws them in the trash. As the start of the competition approaches and the girl heads to the locker room, Jimin suddenly notices that her costume is missing. This jeopardizes the entire dance team, as the girl is their leader. Rose thinks she has won and takes revenge on the pretty girl, but Jimin and the team get out of the predicament by using different clothes. After the incident, Jimin, who is unsuspecting about Rosa, thanks her friend for her help and support and asks her not to tell Hanel about the situation. Obediently, Rosie rushes to meet her boyfriend and talks about everything that happened at practice and the subsequent performance. Assuming that the friend bailed out his girlfriend, Hanel thanks her for her ingenuity, on a hunch about Rosie's real devious schemes. The next morning, Hanel and Rosa attend the same classes. In the middle of class, the guy remembers that he forgot to buy a gift for his parents' wedding anniversary. Rosa offers her help and promises to order a cake so that the guy does not waste time and can go to his parents. In the evening, the three students meet at a cafe for dinner, where Jimin learns that Rosa helped her boyfriend. The girl decides to keep silent and not make a scandal, as there is nothing between Rosa and Hanel. Meanwhile, Moon-jun meets with his father, the CEO of a large technology company. The man makes complaints about his son's academic performance, but Moon-jun shows his own app, which makes his father a little happier. A little later, Rose and Jimin meet to discuss the relationship between the girl and her boyfriend. Jimin doesn't hide the fact that she and Hanel have many differences as they have different tastes and hobbies. Realizing that she and her boyfriend have a lot in common, Rose confesses that she has a boyfriend that she really likes, but hides his identity to avoid giving Hanel's name. At the same time, Minho meets up with Jua and tells her about his older sister's upcoming wedding. He wants to help his sister as they lost their parents early, and Jua supports the guy in a difficult moment, knowing what it means to be an orphan. Showing concern, the girl realizes that Minho has feelings for her and she becomes embarrassed, so the couple leaves the cafe in a hurry. In another photography class, the teacher asks the students to take a photo of the pairs among the maple trees. Having received the assignment, the students go to the university garden to get through it as soon as possible. When they return to the dormitory, they review the photos. Among them is a shot of Hanel, who was photographed not by his girlfriend, but by Rose, which creates a tense situation between the guy and Jimin. In the evening, the four meet and notice that another publication has appeared online. A mysterious person hiding under a pseudonym reports that he was nervous during class being around the girl he cares about. At the end of the post, the author attached a few photos so that students can guess who exactly the person in question is. This makes the friends discuss what happened and try to guess if any of them are the person the mysterious anonymous person is in love with. The next morning, Jua and Moonjun meet up to go to a photo exhibition that is part of an optional assignment. At one point it starts to rain and the girl gets nervous, remembering that today is the anniversary since Minho became an orphan. Being a good friend, Jua ditches the guy she likes to go to Minho and support him in his time of need. Upon meeting her comrade, the girl comforts the guy and promises to always be there for him no matter what happens, and he is very pleased. A little later, Jimin, Hanel, Rosa, and their friend go to the quest room to play and have fun. While trying to solve the riddles, not everyone dares to continue the challenge, so only Rosa and Hanel go to the next room. Upon seeing the scary doll, the girl hugs her friend's boyfriend, which creates an awkward situation. After the game, Jimin takes the experience photo and sees a shot of her friend hugging her boyfriend. Hanel calms the girl down and suggests not to give any importance to these photos, after which the couple leaves, not realizing that Rosa is pleased with their distrust of each other. Upon returning home, Jimin examines the mysterious person's postings and suggests that it could be Rosa, feeling sympathy for her boyfriend. Jua continues to use Minho's app and invites another single guy over for dinner. After meeting him, she changes her plans at the last minute and leaves the dining room, much to the dismay of the guy who left angry comments on the app's performance. After meeting up with Moonjun, Jua goes to the photo exhibition they never visited last time. The couple is met by Minho, who also shows up here, taking a girl he knows with him. Soon, Jimin notices that an anonymous person is posting another romantic post, but this time signs himself with the name Dear M, which causes controversy and discussion among the students. Jimin's phone goes off and she borrows it from Rosa, after which she notices that she is registered on an app under a strange name. After a double date with the girls, Moonjun asks Minho how he feels about Jua and if she is really just a friend to him. Minho says he has no feelings for the girl, but Moonjun doesn't much believe his words. Meanwhile, the guy who was rejected by Jua starts devising a revenge plan to hurt the app's reputation even more. To do this, he seeks out the girl and tries to set up a meeting with her again, plotting something terrible. At the same time, Minho meets his older sister and helps with wedding preparations. The sister claims that she doesn't need anything, but the younger brother decides to put all the effort and money earned from the annex into the wedding. Meanwhile, Xiaming decides to look into everything so that her suspicions are not in vain and calls Rosa, asking her to meet her in the canteen for an important conversation. While checking the app, Minho notices negative feedback and learns that this guy has arranged a meeting with Jua. Assuming that something terrible might happen, Minho sets out to find her friend. At the same time, the maniacal guy corners Jua, but the girl defends herself and uses pepper spray to try to escape. After succeeding, Jua escapes and meets Moonjun, who is able to not only protect the girl, but also call the police. Jimin decides to directly ask Rosa if she likes her boyfriend. At first, the girl is surprised by such questions and accusations against her, but then calls Jimin a bad friend who should be jealous of Hanel. This exposes her hypocrisy and her desire to take the guy away from her best friend, whom she has known since high school. Minho finds Jua and learns that she is safe since Moonjun is by her side. At the same time, the girl has gone through a shock over what happened, so the trio goes to the police station and testifies against the maniac who stalked her. Soon the police arrest the vengeful student, but Minho still feels guilty because it was his app that led to these problems. He is ready to shut down the app for good and meet with the investor who invested the money to get it back. Rosa realizes that she needs to find another way to win Hanel's attention, so she invites him to dinner, during which she tells him that they are going on a trip. Meanwhile, Minho decides to pursue another app, realizing that this is the only thing that will allow him to make money. Jimin decides to talk to Rose to apologize for the fight and empty accusations. Despite her interest in Hanel, the girl accepts her friend's apology, allowing them to temporarily reconcile. At night, the students meet at a cafe to discuss their upcoming trip. They offer Moonjun to go on an excursion with them, and after a little hesitation, the guy accepts their offer. Sometime later, students notice another Dear M publication with a hand-drawn picture attached to it. Upon seeing the drawing, the students discuss the publication, trying to figure out who is drawn and who could have drawn it. A few days later, the friends gather for a field trip together, and Minho unexpectedly joins them. He is upset that Jua is spending time with Moonjun, but tries to pretend to be only a friend to her. After the fun excursion, the friends go to Moonjun's parents' house and have an outdoor picnic. A little later, the father calls Moonjun to see why he deleted his app. The boy lies and says that he wants to improve the work and functionality of the program. In turn, the father suggests his son to take part in a major technological competition, and Moonjun can't refuse his father's idea. At night, the students organize alcoholic games and have fun. A little later, Jimin and Rose go for a walk, and Jua and Moonjun decide to clean the house. At one point, the girl finds a drawing similar to the one posted by Dear M and tries to figure out if this guy is really a romantic anonymous. A drunken Hanel accidentally hugs Rose, believing that his girlfriend is in front of him. Jimin finds herself a few meters away from the couple and sees what happened, assuming that her boyfriend is a cheater. At the same time, thanks to alcohol, Moonjun and Jua confess their sympathy for each other, after which they kiss passionately, forgetting fear and modesty, and not realizing that Minho is watching them. The next morning, Jua wakes up and can't remember what happened last night. At the same time, the relationship between Jimin and Hanel becomes extremely strained, though the guy doesn't realize the reason for it. On the way home, Jua remembers last night's kiss with Moonjun and the girl becomes uncomfortable. Realizing that the car is full of friends, the girl decides not to ask the guy anything, only observing his attitude towards her. Upon returning to the dormitory, Jimin reminds her boyfriend of what happened. He excuses himself and claims that he accidentally mixed up his favorite girl because of alcohol. Remaining unhappy, Jimin believes his words and forgives Hanel. A little later, Hanel goes to Rosa's house to give her the notes and witnesses the girl's conflict with her ex-boyfriend. He would not like to interfere in what is happening, but Rosa notices Hanel and asks him to stay by her side, as she is afraid to be alone. Hanel realizes that this is wrong, but he can't leave his girlfriend's friend in trouble and agrees to stay with her for a while. Having received a message from Jimin, the guy would like to tell her that he supports Rose, but the girl asks not to tell anyone about her problems. Determined to keep everything a secret, Hanel lies, claiming that he is in the lab. A few hours later, Rosa thanks and escorts Hanel out, unaware that her boyfriend was nearby, and took a photo of them together, posting it online. Jua, Jimin, and the others see the picture, causing the girl to immediately call her boyfriend, demanding an explanation. When they meet, Hanel tries to tell the truth, but Jimin does not believe him, pointing out that the guy lied about his location before and is clearly hiding something. The girl doesn't trust and leaves, but in the morning Hanel convinces her to change her mind and forgive him, resuming their relationship. Realizing that she needs to be more decisive, Jimin meets with Rosa to find out the truth from her once and for all. She asks her friend if she has feelings for her boyfriend and Rosa admits that she loves Hanel. As a result, the girls not only quarrel but also end their long-standing friendship. Sometime later, Hanel's birthday arrives and Jimin waits for him to give him a present. After hearing from a classmate that she saw the guy with another girl, Jimin panics and rushes to find Hanel. Seeing that he's just chatting with a student to whom he gives the book, the girl calms down a bit, realizing that her jealousy was in vain. At the same time, Jimin realizes that she will never be able to trust the man she loves again, so she suggests to Hanel that they break off their relationship. Their hearts are broken and gossip is not long in coming, as all the students learn that the most beautiful couple of the university is no longer in a relationship. At the same time, Rose doesn't hide her happiness. Meanwhile, Jua learns that Dear M has made another publication, saying that he will confess his feelings to his lover in the next photography class. Believing that Moonjun is hiding behind the mask of an anonymous person, the girl dreams of waiting for this moment. At the same time, Minho meets a girl in the library who informs him that some classmates have been cheated by a teacher who stole their money. He promised to improve the students' projects, but betrayed them at the most difficult moment. After learning about everything, Minho realizes that he too has been victimized by this man, so he goes to the police along with other victims of deception to write a report. The police can't help as the location of the scammer is unknown. Having learned about everything, Jua hurries to Minho to support his friend in a difficult moment. The guy spent almost all his savings for his sister's wedding, so he can hardly hold back his tears. After drinking a little, Minho promises to keep his hands up and do everything he can to earn that money again. After getting information about Minho's situation, Moonjun suggests that they participate in a technology contest together, where they can create an app and earn good money from it if they win. After learning about the amount of prize money, Minho agrees, but they need to raise money for startup capital before the contest begins. At the same time, the cheerleading squad chooses a new captain, which leads to another confrontation between Jimin and Rose. Minho and Moonjun start working on an app idea. Its essence is to help users achieve goals by incentivizing them to contribute to quality and environmentally friendly products. Minho is impressed with Moonjun's idea and promises to assist in every way possible in the development of the project. Relationship-free Jiming walks around the city and decides to have lunch at a cafe. All the tables are occupied, so she is offered to sit next to a guy named Banjadam. Despite the girl's tears because of Hanel, the couple manages to get acquainted. After lunch, Banjadam invites the girl on another date and tells her that they study at the same university and attend the same classes, but she has never noticed him before. Soon comes the long-awaited day and a photography class where Dear M must make a declaration of love. The class gets as weird as possible as several students disappear, Minho and Moonjun among them. Immediately after the class, a charming girl shocks the audience and confesses her love to Minho by giving him flowers. The guy is shocked by what is happening and rejects the beauty, informing her that he likes another girl and has a crush on him. Meanwhile, Jua attends an audition for the position of announcer for the university's spring festival and impresses the judges by winning the opportunity to be the host. At night, when everyone is preparing for final exams, an anonymous person posts another message. Dear M reports that he did not make a declaration of love because he was not in the hallway. As a result, students begin to suspect those who missed class. Among those students are Minho and Moonjun. A little later, Jimin meets Banjadam, who asks her out on a date. Realizing that there is nothing in her way, the girl agrees and the pair go to a cafe where they try to get to know each other better. Hanel watches them from afar and is jealous of Jimin, but realizes that none of this makes sense and their relationship is in the past. A little later, Jua and Minho have lunch but are joined by Yanji. Despite the preliminary decision, the judges choose Yanji as the host of the festival, which makes Jua sad. After class, Banjadam invites Jimin to dinner, during which the guy confesses that he has fallen in love with a girl. During the festival, one of the judges tells Jua that she was impressed by her manner of performance, so she offers to be the host of another festive event, and the girl happily agrees. Banjadam and Jimin go to the festival as the girl suddenly notices Hanel. Avoiding the meeting, the couple goes to the House of Fear, but Hanel sees the couple and goes to follow them, after which he sees that the girl is happy with another guy, causing him to become depressed. Soon, Jua meets Arian, an acquaintance of Moonjun, which disappoints the girl a bit. After finding out that this hottie still likes the guy, Jua is sad, but the guy kisses her, showing his sympathy. Hanel gets drunk with grief, but he is spotted by Rosa, who decides to help the guy. Taking advantage of the situation, she takes his hand, and this is noticed by Jimin, who gets sad. Jua hides away from the party, but she is met by Minho, who supports the girl and claims that there is a guy who truly loves her. Jua doesn't believe the guy's words and cries, but he musters up the courage to kiss her childhood friend, shocking her. The next morning they kiss again, but Jua says it was a mistake and asks him to forget about what happened because it will never happen again. Minho admits that he is in love with her, but the girl asks not to say so, otherwise they will stop being friends. At night, the captain of the soccer team sees Jimin off and offers her a ride, not realizing that Rosa has noticed the couple and takes a photo, posting it on social media. The next day, everyone sees the photo, which creates a conflict situation that results in Rosa being chosen as the team captain. The captain of the soccer team intervenes and dispels the rumors, which crushes Rosa's plans. In the evening, Jua and Moonjun meet and talk a lot about what is going on to solve all the problems. The girl asks to stop socializing with other hotties, after which she runs away in tears. Minho sees all this and is sad because Jua doesn't pay attention to him and shows interest in another guy. At night, Jua tells about her problems to her friends, but they do not sympathize with her, thinking more about her difficulties in her personal life. The girl also tells about how she wanted to send an application for an announcer position at a sports broadcaster, but she doesn't have money for photos and makeup. Her friends decide to help in this situation, thanks to which Jua applies for the position of an announcer. At another photography class, many people feel awkward because of the difficulties in their personal relationships. The teacher sets an assignment and asks them to split into threes, which results in Jimin being paired with Banjadem and Hanel. The trio must find an idea for a movie to make their commercial. While trying to work together, the guys bicker while trying to win the girl's attention. Meanwhile, Jua is studying for a speech exam to become a sports commentator. Randomly noticing an interview between Moonjun and his father, the girl decides to watch the video and hears the guy mention an app developed by her friend Minho. The next morning, Rosa confesses her feelings to Hanel, but the guy rejects the girl, claiming that he was only nice to her because she was Jimin's friend, but that is now in the past. Jua becomes a guest on the university radio as she suddenly receives a strange letter and learns that there is an important event waiting for her, which she knows nothing about. Noticing the date, she realizes that it coincides with the day she has to take her public speaking exam. In the evening, Minho meets her friend and congratulates her on her radio appearance, but the girl asks him not to be so nice to her as they are friends, but no more than that. Meanwhile, Moonjun's father tells his son that he should give up the technology competition and focus on the app that is being developed to successfully sell it and make money. Because of Hanel's refusal, Rosa loses her sanity and creates a publication accusing Jimin of having a relationship with the captain of the soccer team. On the background of the scandal, the captain of the team decides not to risk his reputation and exclude the girl from the team, which disappoints her because very soon the next competition should be held. At the same time, Rose continues to do everything to become the leader of the cheerleading squad. During her interview, Jimin guesses that it was Rosa who made the rumored publication that destroyed her reputation. In a private conversation, Rosa admits that she did it and has no regrets, because she is willing to do anything to get what she wants. Hanel hears all this, so he responds violently to Rosa and expresses everything he thinks about her, after which he leaves, asking her to forget about him once and for all. Jua goes to Kareb to sing and relax a little when she suddenly notices that her favorite song has the exact same number as the numbers in the letter. Realizing that the only one who knows about her favorite song is Minho, Jua assumes that her best friend is the mysterious Dear M. Hanel and Jimin try to sort out their feelings and the situation that has arisen because of Rose. The guy doesn't understand why the girl felt insecure and didn't tell everything earlier. He tries to apologize for making Jimin feel that way, but it's too late. Minho gets a call from the staff of the technology competition, informing him that they have withdrawn their entry for the competition. Not understanding what this is about, Minho meets with his partner to learn more about the situation. Moonjun admits that he's willing to buy the guy's app to develop it further at his father's company and can pay generously for it. Minho doesn't know what to say in response, but soon meets his sisters Fiancayan and learns that they are having economic difficulties. Realizing that these problems need to be solved, Minho considers accepting Moonjun's offer and making good money from it. After learning about everything, Jua meets up with his best friend and asks him not to sell his app. Meeting his sister as well, Minho makes a decision, and upon seeing Moonjun, he refuses to sell the app. On his way home, Minho meets Jua and states that he plans to start a business together with her, and this makes the girl very happy. A while later, the day of the exam comes. Jua and the other girls answer a series of questions from the judges. Jua tries to answer correctly, but her lack of experience as a commentator works against her. At the same time, the cheerleaders hold an election to see whether Jimin or Rose will be captain, but in the end it is Jimin who wins, much to the dismay of her former friend. Soon Banjadan asks the girl out on a date, and Jimin happily accepts. Jua finds herself in a less convenient situation as Minho asks not only her but also another girl to meet. Jimin goes to a computer club at Hanel's request and finds a cute game that her ex-boyfriend created. The love story touched the girl's heart, so when she meets Hanel, she admits that she still loves him. Realizing that their feelings are mutual and they can't live without each other, Jimin and Hanel reconcile and kiss passionately. Meanwhile, Minho meets his first girlfriend and says that they will forever be only friends, but no more than that. At the same time, Jua dates Moonjun and confesses that she doesn't love him. Jimin meets Banjadam and offers to stay friends since she's back with her ex-boyfriend. Rose is not ready to be in the cheerleading squad where Jimin is the captain, so she leaves the team. Moonjun's father finds out that it wasn't his son who developed the app, which leads to a scandal. Frustrated, the father refuses to fund the cheating app, promising that it will never become part of his business. At the same time, Minho signs a contract with another tech company interested in his developments. A little later, Jua and Minho go to an art gallery. The girl admits that she didn't expect such a romantic act from her boyfriend in the form of a letter. Minho confirms that he sent the letter on the radio, but doesn't admit that Dear M and him are the same person. At the same time, it becomes clear that the anonymous person was a student from the psychology department who was conducting tests to check the students' reactions. In fact, the so-called Dear M didn't like anyone and was just mocking others to try to guess who was hiding behind the mask of the anonymous author of the publications.